Welcome to my video where I'll be explaining the deck format and the rules for the upcoming Desu 2 vs 2 LoR Tournament happening on February 6th and the 7th with a 320 plus euros prize pool. I'll just go straight up into it to make it clear and simple as fast as possible. So you and your teammate, since it's a 2 vs 2 tournament, bring a total of 4 decks. 2 lineups of 2 decks, so 2 times 2, 4. Okay. So, lineup, there's a total of 3 rules. Rule number 1, there's no duplicate regions in a lineup. Pretty simple, pretty standard, you have seen this before in almost every tournament. So for example, lineup number 1, you're bringing scouts. If you're bringing scouts, you cannot have Demacia and you cannot have Bilgewater in your other deck for lineup number 1. So since we cannot use Demacia, we cannot use Bilgewater, for example, we're using Lisa and Zoe, Targon, and Ionia. Pretty simple, standard rule that everyone has seen before. Rule number 2, maximum of 3 of the same champion in both lineups. Also pretty standard, but not fully. So, lineup number 2, let's take, for example, we can take Bilgewater again, since it's a secondary lineup, but we cannot use Misfortune again. You can use a total of 3 of a champion. So you can use 2 misfortunes in one lineup and 1 misfortune in your second lineup, but total of 3. So if you have 3 misfortunes in your first lineup, you cannot use misfortune in your second lineup. So instead of that, let's take, for example, we're taking Twisted Fate Swain. So we cannot use more than 3 of the same champion. Third rule, which is the last rule, no duplicate region combinations in both of your lineups. So you can repeat a region from lineup number 1 into lineup number 2. So you can have Bilgewater with all of the same Bilgewater cards if you want to, but you cannot repeat the champion more than 3 times, of course, and you cannot do the same region combination. What it means by that, if in your lineup number 1 you have Bilgewater Demacia, in lineup number 2 you cannot use Bilgewater Demacia. You can use Demacia with Ionia, you can use Demacia with Targon or with anything. You can use Bilgewater with anything, but not the same combination, Bilgewater Demacia. And also you cannot use Ionia Targon if you used that combination in your first lineup. So for example, lineup number 2, the last deck we're taking, Shenfiora. We're repeating Demacia, we're repeating Ionia, but we're not repeating the combination of the 2 regions. And we're not repeating the same champion more than 3 times. It's different champions and it's a different combination, but it's the same regions, but not in the combination. So these are all the 3 rules you have to know. And that's pretty much it. I think I kept it pretty simple, pretty straight to the point. And that's pretty much it. So lineup number 1, Bilgewater Demacia, Targon, Ionia, no duplicate regions. Lineup number 2, Bilgewater Noxus, Demacia, Ionia, no duplicate regions, but also no duplicate combinations and no more than 3 of the same champion. When you bring your decks, when you sign up for the tournament, you're all set to go until the tournament. When you're supposed to play your first game, before you're playing your game, you will have to ban one of your opposing lineups. So what you do is, you go to Runeterra ban, you enter the site, you put number of decks, 4, because we have a total of 4 decks for the tournament. You wait for the site to actually work. Hello? Okay, so it changed to 2 for no reason. Let's go back, and let's go back here again. So you go... Well, this is unfortunate. And 4, yay, create new room. So after you've made your 4 decks here, you take this link and give it to your opponent so they can join. After that, you take a new deck and enter your code here. And please remember, very important, say lineup 1 and then, I don't know, scouts or Shenfiora, whatever. Just remember to put lineup 1 so your opponent know which lineup they're banning, because they're not banning a singular deck, they're banning a singular lineup. So after you have your 4 decks here, you put them to the left side, bada boom, bada beam. Those are the 4 decks. You put them here, submit decks. And basically when your opponent will ban and when When you're banning one of the lineups. So you can ban deck number 1 or deck number 2. It doesn't matter because you're banning lineup number 1. Or you're banning deck number 3 or 4. Doesn't matter because you're banning a lineup. So after you ban, you are playing a total of 2 decks versus a total of 2 decks. Best out of 3. You have to win with both of your decks. That's it for me. That's everything that you need to know for this tournament. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you there.